To solve problems in mathematics, it's often useful to rewrite expressions in simpler forms. The distributive property, illustrated by the area model below, is another property of real numbers that helps you to simplify expressions. We'll consider the rectangle on the left. We have a height of 8 and looks like a width of x plus 5 units. So x is a variable. We can't definitively say just how wide that rectangle is, but it's x plus 5 units. And then on the right-hand side, a similar size rectangle, exactly the same size as we'll see. It has a height of 8. And then the green rectangle on the left has a width of x. The orange rectangle on the right has a width of 5. So if we were to put those together, we would have a width of x plus 5. So this model shows that 8 times x plus 5, the area of the rectangle on the left, equals 8 times x, the area of the green rectangle, plus 8 times 5, the area of the orange rectangle. And if we just look at that equation, we see an example of the distributive property. Take note, property, the distributive property. Let a, b, and c be real numbers. In terms of algebra, we can state a times the sum of b and c equals a times b plus a times c. For example, 4 times the sum, 20 plus 6, equals 4 times 20 plus 4 times 6. In algebra, we can say the sum b plus c times a equals b times a plus c times a. An example, 20 plus 6 in parentheses times 4 equals 20 times 4 plus 6 times 4. In algebra, we can say a times the difference, b minus c, equals a times b minus a times c. An example, 7 times, in parentheses, 30 minus 2 equals 7 times 30 minus 7 times 2. And finally, with algebra, we can state b minus c, in parentheses, times a equals b times a minus c times a. An example, 30 minus 2, in parentheses, times 7 equals 30 times 7 minus 2 times 7. Problem 1, simplifying expressions. What is the simplified form of each expression? Part A, 3 times x plus 8, in parentheses. Well, 3 times the sum x plus 8 equals 3 times x, distributing the 3 to the first term in parentheses, plus 3 times 8, distributing the 3 to the second term in parentheses. And then we simplify. 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 8 is 24. And part B, 5b minus 4, in parentheses, times negative 7. And here we're using parentheses just to help that negative sign stand out, and so we don't think that we're subtracting. But just the same, it's multiplication. And so we'll distribute the negative 7 to both terms in parentheses. Negative 7 times 5b can be written as 5b times negative 7 minus 4 times negative 7. Being extra careful here with our negative signs. 5b times negative 7 is negative 35b. And negative 4, or minus 4, times negative 7 results in plus 28. Your turn. Part A. What is the simplified form of 5 times the sum of x plus 7? Part B. What is the simplified form of 12 times the difference of 3 and 1/6 t? C. What is the simplified form of 0.4 plus 1.1 c, in parentheses, times 3? Part D. What is the simplified form of the difference of 2y and negative 1 times negative y? I'm going to go off on a tangent here for a minute. It's around this time of year, October, getting close to Halloween, that I'm often talking with students about the distributive property. And the way I relate it is, let me use the green laser pointer. It's as though, let's say 2 students. Who wants to be 2 students trick-or-treating at my house? Case and Novalee. Case is C, that makes sense, and Novalee is B, that makes no sense. But they both show up at my house. And A, that's like me at the door, and I'm about to hand out candy on Halloween. They're both here at my door. If I hand out candy to just Novalee and not Case, that just ain't right. Right, Case?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to make sure that you distribute as though you're distributing candy to both terms in parentheses. An incredibly common mistake students make is to only distribute to the first term and then just for some reason forget the second term, and that would hurt Case's feelings. So, just like Halloween candy, make sure you distribute to all the terms in parentheses, just like all the kids who show up at the door.